Honestly, it's like you need a little responsibility. Um, you need a little responsibility, something that's you have to do, that you have to take care of. Because sometimes when you're in a funk or you're down or you got those demons at you, you just need a reason to kind of continue to get up and move forward.
All right, Dennis, thanks for coming in, man.
No problem, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone gets an intro. Dennis Walsh, father of one boy, and you got another one on the way.
Yeah, always pregnant. I don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, but yeah.
Exciting times. When did she do?
May 20th is the due date, so yeah.
That's awesome.
I can't wait. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but I don't care either way anyways. Yeah.
Be cool to, we got two boys.
Yeah.
We'll have a daughter, but I think we're...
Yeah, a daughter would be alright. Maybe balance me out a little bit, but a boy would be great too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're always fun. Electrical contractor and 50% owner of Tera.
Tera BJJ, yeah.
Awesome. When did you guys open that?
2 years ago, in December actually. So yeah, we're 2 years into it now, and everything's going really good. It's popping off. Lots of people coming through the gym, so definitely no complaints. Glad we did it. Just look forward to keep it moving.
Absolutely. Yeah. How did you guys start it?
How? Well, I mean, how was pretty easy, I guess. We just found a spot and bought some mats, and it was away we go. Like I said, my buddy helped us promote it and basically pump it out online. We knew some people around the scene anyway, so some people came over and joined up right away. And a lot of word of mouth, a lot of social media, and yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Like it's always seems like it's blocked now. Like even at the 6 a.m.s.
Yeah, the 6 a.m.s are going good. That's a tougher crowd for people. So the times are big. Like we made sure that we had lots of times available for people with busy lives, rather than just have a bunch of martial arts in one academy and then squeeze jiu-jitsu in for an hour here or there on the odd days. So we made sure it was all jiu-jitsu and just anybody could fit it in their lifestyle kind of thing. So like evenings like at 7:30, and then mornings a couple of 8:30 a.m. classes, and some weekends. So
awesome. Did you find when you guys started that there there's a lot of, I'll say, there's a lot of schools that have been around for a long time and they seem to franchise out.
Yeah.
And was that community kind of embracing, or was it abrasive?
I would say for the most part, it was pretty positive. Another gym opened up kind of like the same time too, but we had a good relationship with mostly everybody. So the main thing is we weren't stepping on anybody's toes because of the location. It's like there wasn't really a big jiu-jitsu scene down in this end, so it wasn't really a big issue. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and when we did that on purpose, you know what I mean? Try to accommodate everybody who lives in this area and stayed, we didn't open up shop real close to anybody with the big, mainly when we were opened up, we were just adults too. So nobody had a huge adult scene close by. So
that's cool.
I feel like that was good.
Yeah. I noticed the vibe there, and I, just from being there, and I know you guys, have affiliations with a school in Halifax, but
yeah,
is that a vibe you guys created?
Well, I never, before we were affiliated with them, I never actually had been there beforehand. Jeff had, the other owner, and we took some stuff from them, but it was mostly just like what we wanted out of a gym. You know what I mean? Everybody here was pretty traditional, lining up, bowing, all this kind of stuff. And we just wanted, a group of guys to get together and just train. Nobody needs to be bowing to anybody, any other men or anything there. Just a bunch of friends hanging out, man, and just training, getting after it, getting better. That was kind of what we were shooting for. We wanted to do a lot of like no gi instead of just the traditional gi. We do both, but just more no gi, more wrestling, more stand up, and just keep up with the new stuff that's constantly going out. You know what I mean? Jiu-Jitsu, so it's growing and always evolving, and there's so much information stuff online, and it's like to not utilize that in your classes just seemed a little, I don't know, just seemed like you were just holding yourself back. So we utilize that a lot, and yeah, you know, just kind of love it. So, and we wanted to train more. You know what I mean? A lot of places, like I said, you train an hour, maybe you get like a 5-minute round or 2 5-minute rounds in at the end of class. And it's like, you know, I've been to classes in other, you know, not necessarily here, but I've trained in Alberta for years too. And sometimes you'd not even sweat, you know what I mean? You'd have to work out after because you feel like you didn't get a workout in. So it's like, you feel like you're kind of wasting your time. You're leaving your girlfriend, your wife, your family. You know, you're missing out on sleep. You're missing out on stuff to go train and try to get better at something, and you're not even getting a workout in. You know what I mean? So we wanted to make sure we ticked all the boxes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The balance of like drilling and rolling, like what do you think works for people better if they're trying to improve?
Oh, drilling for sure. I mean, you should spend a lot of time drilling, but like rolling's funner. So you gotta have a mix there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also like situational stuff. Like if you just spent the whole class on a position, going over a position, and then now you're just gonna go right into rolling, and you might not even see that position. It's like, that seems counterintuitive. So we want to make sure that after we do position, we give guys opportunities to like train that position, get better at that position. And the classes aren't so random. It's like we're doing a position for like a couple of weeks, like nailing down all the options and the counters to those options, and then drilling those options and counter in live rolls, but just at those positions. And then we'll do the rounds after, which are always just for fun, right? So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, just from my time there, do you notice that there's like a certain type of people or person that doesn't really stick around? Like, from what I notice, it seems like people that are kind of easy to talk to, kind of like chill.
I find you can never tell who's going to stick around, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like you can try to take a guess. You know, some people are a little more passive there, and some people are a little more aggressive. But honestly, you just never know who's going to stick around. It's like, and things pop up, people dip out. Sometimes they don't come back, or sometimes they do. It's really, I find it impossible to tell, honestly. And that's been, I thought, before we opened up, we thought we could. You know what I mean? You thought you can kind of tell the guys or ladies who would stick around, but that's kind of the fun of it now too. It's like, you don't know, right? It's like, and as long as guys are there, they're going to be getting better. And it's like, you don't have to be, you could be, you know, if you're coming in and you're pretty hyper or a little bit spazzy, it's like you'll get with the program pretty quick and just chill out and drill and stay safe. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. It's like injuries take people out. So avoid injuries is a big thing. You know what I mean? So I would say, I'd say you just can't tell who's going to stick with. Everybody wants to be there. Everybody that walks through the door has a plan on sticking out and being a black belt and training for years. You know what I mean? But it's hard, man. You know, you're tired. Things come up. Little injuries happen. So
yeah,
it's just, you just got to keep showing up.
Oh, the 6 a.m. class is like when I can go.
Yeah.
We're busy in the evenings, and man, you get up at 5 o'clock and it's like so easy to slip.
It's so easy, especially this time of year when it's dark and it's cold. But
it's cold as shit.
Yeah, the amount of guys that say, you know, the 6 a.m.s are perfect. I signed up because of the 6 a.m.s. You know, it fits my schedule. It fits most people's schedule, but it's hard.
It is hard.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, that's why everyone's not a black belt.
Yeah, fair enough. I do find even like when you guys post something on social media and I miss class, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, we do that a little bit. You know, we like people to see that they're missing out, you know.
Yeah,
especially if there's a good group in. It's like, you could have got some good training in this morning, but
it's packed.
You chose not to. So, yeah. And usually that's what it is. It's a decision, so.
Kind of leading into that, I notice that a lot of times when people do like a big transformation, I got a couple friends that got sober, and some of my buddies that were rough areas, but it seems like the trifecta of getting ahead is like people are like work out, eat better, and now it seems pretty popular that people lump jiu-jitsu in there too. Yeah. What do you think that is?
Well, I think it's, first of all, jiu-jitsu's fun.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like some people don't get as much enjoyment out of just going to the gym and lifting weights, especially if you're not doing something competitive or you're not trying to get stronger or faster or run longer. It's like there's no way to gauge yourself. And when you come to jiu-jitsu, it's like you're in a big group of people and everybody noticing you getting better is like rewarding. Also, you start catching people, or the people that catch you, like, you know, maybe they'll tap you 3 or 4 times around when you first show up, and you're like, you don't even understand why. Then a few months go by, and they're not catching you so easy. And then another few months go by, you start catching other people. You might catch that one person once, and then, you know what I mean? Now it's like you have a benchmark. You have a goal to hit, you know what I mean? So, and let's say, like, you're there for a year, you're there for a couple of years, you get a blue belt, you know what I mean? Everybody recognizes that you're hitting the next level. And yeah, so I would just say benchmarks and fun is big, you know what I mean? It's got to be fun. You got to want to go. If it's just like a chore, it's like it's not going to be fun. You're not going to want to do it, you know what I mean? Your whole life is full of chores and stuff you got to do.
That's true.
So it's like, and usually if people are coming off a bad path, they're trying to escape from stuff. So it's like you need something that you're excited about, that you want to get better at, and where there's a real reward. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like a physical reward, but just like a mental reward, and a good group of people. You've seen the same people all the time. You go to the gym, it's like you got your headphones on. People aren't noticing if you're not there. If you don't show up, no one cares. The gym doesn't care. They're getting their money. You know, you miss out on a few classes at jiu-jitsu, and your buddy messages you like, hey, where are you at? You missed this, or you missed that, or we went over this today, and this would have been really good for you. You know what I mean? You could have used what we did today. Would have worked very well for your game. So I would say that as well.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. It seems like it gives people, well, it's merit based. Like, we were in Taekwondo together years ago.
Yeah.
That's money based, and
that was very money based.
You go in and you bow and you do all the things.
Yeah, that was very traditional.
You suck, it doesn't matter. You're still getting your belt.
You're still getting your belt. It's time in and money in.
Exactly.
You get what you get. Yeah.
But jiu-jitsu's like merit based. Like,
if it's done correctly, yeah.
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 Yeah, exactly.
It's done correctly.
If you want a thing, you gotta fucking put in the time.
You gotta show it, and you put in the time, it will show. If the time and effort, you know, if you're there just dicking around, sitting down on the mat, it's like you're not gonna get any better.
Yeah.
But in turn, you're not gonna have fun. You're not gonna keep going back because you're not getting better. You know what I mean? It's kind of like plays off each other. So
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. It's one of my favorite things about it. And I see a lot of the dudes from your club at the gym, and it's like you're kind of working out so that you can be better at jiu-jitsu a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Gives you that athlete feel where it's like, you know, I had a gut for a while. I'm going to jiu-jitsu and get my fucking ass kicked every week, you know?
You're like, geez, I need some better cardio. I need to get stronger. Yeah. A lot of times it starts out, guys will go to the gym and then they just do a little bit of jiu-jitsu. And it kind of quickly is from doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and a little bit of gym to help with jiu-jitsu, which is fun. So that's what it was with me. Like I was just really into lifting weights and getting strong. And then I started jiu-jitsu, and quickly I was like, oh, I need to get better at this. And then my time at the gym was really just a supplement to my jiu-jitsu or help with like injury preventions and stuff like that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So stepping back, how did you start your life in jiu-jitsu?
Well, I spent a lot of time at the gym, like I was saying, and Jeff, the other owner of Tera, he was there as well, and he mentioned that he trains at a gym, and I was like, geez, what do you do there, man? He's like, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and stuff like that. So I said, cool, man, like I'd like to come. He's like, yeah, we'll just be here at this time. So I showed up, and I just did a class, and I really liked it. You know, I guess I had a little bit of success, you know what I mean? Just being a big, strong, spazzy person there, and I really liked it. And then also, you know, I got beat up a little bit, and that was fun. That was good for me too. So I just kind of got hooked, and honestly, I just started training a bunch. I was just there, like, first it was like 3 days a week, then it was 4, then I was like trying to get extra mat time, and then that was it. I just never stopped going just 4 or 5 days a week ever since.
I think before that you mentioned before you were in powerlifting.
Yeah, I did a lot of powerlifting. Like I said, I was powerlifting, a few competitions. Like I just wanted to get strong. That was good. It's like I always needed like a goal. You know what I mean? I guess I didn't need a goal, but I always liked having something to chase. Found it motivating. Powerlifting is kind of rough on the body, especially the way I did it. You know what I mean? If something was hurt, you just continue to train through it anyways. And it's just a few lifts. It's easy to, just get injured and get imbalanced, especially if you already have some imbalances. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I would say.
A competitive spirit about you for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I like just competing. I like anything that's like by yourself too, like competitive in that sense, where you're not relying on a team. I think that I always just gravitate towards those things.
Like the solo goals.
Yeah. I like anything physical. I like just doing physical stuff. You know what I mean? It's for some reason that just calls me. I just want to do it.
You think you get some purpose there?
I think I get some success there. So I'm never really good at schools, but I found physical stuff I could really just grind it. It was always just interesting. So I just gravitate towards it, and it always served me well and continues to. So
awesome.
Yeah,
it's I was talking to a friend last night actually. We were talking about a lot of lost souls out there with no purpose, and it's they continue to beat themselves down because I think it's something some people, if they're lucky, realize early, and some people realize later. But if you're in a shitty spot, you allow yourself to stay there and get comfort by dwelling in it. Never go anywhere.
Yeah, man.
The way out, it's like how you get out of everything. It's like you gotta find.
Yeah, at a certain point, you can't. You got to get up and do it yourself. Yeah. A handout turn coming. No one's coming to save you.
That's right. Yeah. I put the cart before the horse because I want to get in some jiu-jitsu chat with you. But where did you grow up to?
I grew up in Paradise, and then I guess when I was around 12 years old, we moved to just Mount Pearl there, and just kind of I was mostly around these areas anyways, and that's where I grew up. I moved out of Newfoundland, but I was 26 when I moved, or 25 when I moved out, so definitely did all my growing up around town here. So
what did you do for fun back then?
Man, anything, I guess. We just make up games, go outside, just hang out. You know what I mean? It was just maybe getting in a little trouble. I don't know. We were just running around, hanging out in the woods, riding a lot of bikes, just anything. You know what I mean? Anything to kill some time. Yeah.
So how did you get to moving out of Newfoundland? What caused you to leave?
Basically, I had no work, man. I got broke. You know what I mean? I had a house. I was an electrician. And there wasn't much work here. I couldn't really find any. I was an apprentice. Oh no, I just got my ticket. Actually, I went back to school. I got my ticket, but there's just no work here. And we were home. Like, geez, we're here for like almost a year. I wasn't getting EI or anything. And like I said, I realized no one's coming to save you. So I sold my truck, had enough money to get a plane ticket, and went to Grand Prairie, Alberta. I got a job up there quickly. Just as a laborer at first, even though I had my ticket, I just needed a job right away. I had no money. And then I went to another job, which was a little more high paying. And then I got a job with my ticket in like a month, 6 weeks, and I was just working ever since. It was nice. People said there wasn't much work there at the time, but it was more than I was used to seeing. So it was good. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's great. How long were you there for?
4.5 years. Yeah. I liked it there. We moved to Calgary for like a year at one point, in between, but I was still working in Grand Prairie. I would just drive back and forth because we were thinking about moving to Calgary full time. I just kind of wanted to check it out, but it was too big for me. I like things smaller. I like to get around. I like everywhere being 10 minutes away, no traffic. That's perfect for me. So I moved back to Grand Prairie, liked it there. And then we were going to stay there. Our plan was to just, have a life there. And then when Rogan came, geez, he wasn't very old, and we were like, we need some help. We should just move back home. We got family home. They want to see him more. So that's what we did.
Yeah, it's rough having a kid when you have work to do
and it was a rough postpartum for my wife. It was very difficult, and you know what I mean? I couldn't be around as much because I had work to do. Yeah, so she, one day she was just like, I want to move home. And then, 2 weeks later, I was driving home. That was it.
Wow.
No problem. Just make a decision and do it, So just sold our furniture and took off. We were just renting up there, so it wasn't a big problem. We always had a house here that we were renting out, so we just moved back, and that guy had to go. He beat the crap out of our house anyway, so we had some fixing up to do, but yeah.
Jeez, because you were like, we're coming home?
No, just because that's how he lives, I guess. That's how some people live. They don't care about other people's stuff. It was over COVID. We knew it wasn't a great setup, but we couldn't do anything about it because it was tough. Like, we were up there. This was like when everything was kind of shut down. Our neighbors would call us and kind of let us know what's going on, but we were kind of stuck. So that's it. We're like, all right, we'll go home. We'll fix it. It's whatever. It's only stuff. So we fix it up and it's good to go.
So did you start your contracting company then?
Yeah, I moved home and there wasn't really, I didn't really look that well. I was just like, screw it, we'll just figure it out, start working. Just kind of throw some ads up on Kijiji, just get my contractor's license. I was already a journeyman for like 5 years at that point almost. So, so I just started putting out, getting work. I did some other stuff too, starting off. Like I was doing some handyman stuff too, just to keep the work coming in. But quickly, the electrical work was filling up my schedule, so I stopped that stuff. So I just do electrical stuff now.
That's great.
Yeah.
How long have you and your wife been together?
Oh, geez, I should know the number, hey?
I'll edit this.
I'm 34 now. Yeah. Geez, we were together. I guess I was 18 when I met her. And we just started dating and just been together for that long.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
What's the secret to being together for that long?
I mean, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? We were together that long. I mean, we just grew up together. She was 17, I was 18. We did a lot of stupid stuff together when we were young, and then we matured together and grew up, and that was kind of it. You know what I mean? It's just, I guess it's helpful. And now we're at a point where it'd be difficult to have a relationship with someone else. You know what I mean? Spent almost half your life with someone, so yeah, it's a long time.
That's pretty cool. You don't hear that story very often anymore.
Not these days.
No.
I met her before Tinder and stuff, so maybe it's harder now. I don't know. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's a catalog now.
There's a catalog now, yeah. Yeah. It works for me, I don't know. She was there with me when I didn't have much. So it works out now. I'm able to give back a little bit, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
Perfect.
All right, so you move back to Newfoundland. You start up a contracting company.
Yeah.
What made you want to go out on your own?
I would say the flexibility. Like I said, especially when my boy was so young, you know what I mean? I heard people talk about how you want to spend as much time as you can with your kid from like 1 to 4. They talk about you don't get those years back. So I just wanted to do that, spend as much time as I could with them. And, my wife had a rough go postpartum, like I was talking about, so I wanted to be there for her. And just some flexibility when, she needed me for doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So the main thing was flexibility, you know what I mean? It's difficult when you have a boss and things like that. So when you just have individual customers, it's a little bit easier to work around or, just work like 2 or 3 full days and then you have some time to spend with the family. So that was the main thing is flexibility, as well as like, I guess, profit, you know what I mean? It's nice to get a little more of the actual profit rather than just just selling your time for like so many dollars an hour and then being super happy if you get like an extra $1 for an hour of your time. You know what I mean? and then still, that's about as much you get as appreciation. I work for a lot of people. I work for some good people and some bad people, but at the end of the day, it's just a little more fulfilling when you just complete your own jobs and you just do it all yourself. It's just something that's a little more rewarding about it as well. So between the flexibilities, not wanting a boss, and just the actual reward outside of just a paycheck, you know what I mean? I found those things enticing, I guess. That's definitely what I would say. Yeah. Those few things.
Is that something you always thought about, going out on your own?
Yeah. Even when I was younger, I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to get this and I could just do my own thing. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but it's just always something that I wanted to do, or have a business, or just do something that's a little bit more unconventional than just punching in and out every day for something that, you don't really got much skin in the game. Even when I was working, you know what I mean? You spend a bunch of time on a project and you might get pulled off and go to another one to start one, and then you don't get to see that one through. It's kind of annoying. Or you go to like the tail end of a project to like finish up other people's mistakes. It's kind of annoying. It's like sometimes you just want to start a project and see it through. So I get to do that stuff all the time. So it's super rewarding when I get to do that.
I bet, yeah. Your work is your own. You get to control what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not under someone's thumb.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's stressful too. It's, it's not all good. It's, because your mistakes you pay for. It's if you make a mistake, it's on you too. But that's why the reward's so good. So, yeah.
It's funny because there's a bit of a link up between, you like the solo sports, you like the, you work hard, you gain the rewards, and also entrepreneurship was something that you were interested into.
I guess so. I guess I don't like to depend on people.
Definitely a good attribute to have.
Yeah, I found it. It's benefited me so far. So
how long did you know Jeff before you guys opened up Tera?
Jeez. Must have been like, I don't know. I mean, we were kind of like hanging out a little bit, you know what I mean? Just around the gym. We would see each other and we were like friends of friends. And then when I started training though, we just hung out all the time because we were always at the gym together. And then he was like my main training partner. So probably around like 7 years. Yeah. 7-8 years. And yeah, we were good buddies. And then that's when we decided to open the gym up.
What did that conversation look like? What made you guys decide?
Well, we were kind of talking about it. Like when I moved home, and then he was away for school in Halifax, and then he moved home, and he was talking about that school up in Halifax, BJJ. And he was talking about like how great it was, and all the classes they have, and the culture there is really cool, and it's really grown since he's been there. And I was like, man, that sounds pretty cool. It'd be so cool to do something like that. And he was like, yeah. And then slow, enough conversations happened. We were like, geez, should we, man? And then, I don't know, there was one day we went to meet up at the gym to work out together. And we just stood outside the parking lot and we were just hanging out. We were just talking. We must have spent about an hour and a half talking about it. We didn't even work out after. We were just talking. We were like, you know what, man, let's just fucking do this. And then we were like, all right, let's just come up with a plan. So we literally just came up with a plan there and then put a timeline on it, and it was within like 2 months we had a gym open.
That's
we were
impressive.
like, we just, if we're gonna do this, what are we gonna do? It's like, okay, well, we need money, so we found a way to get some money, and we need a location, so we got a realtor to help us, and we found a location, and needed some mats, so ordered those up, and it's not a lot of stuff you need for a gym. So, like I said, we had my buddy to help me with promoting it and stuff with Rugged Media, so. That was very helpful, and got a few guys came over that we would spend a lot of time training with as well. They popped over, so we had a few higher belts there, and then for the most part, just a bunch of new guys that we got to basically train right from the start and try to like grow the style and the culture of the gym from the get-go, rather than just piggyback off another gym type of thing. You know what I mean? We want to start from scratch and create our own thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Really grew into a vision instead of a template, which is pretty impressive too.
Yeah, thank you.
So you guys chat for like an hour and a half. You're like, let's do it. And then 2 months later, bam, you got it.
Yeah, we were like, let's just do it. And then we just started talking. We were like, well, what will we need? And we just made a list. And then we broke that list down into how. And then we broke that list into you do this and I do this. And then it's done, you know.
So are you like an organized guy?
No.
No,
Jeff's much more organized than me.
Okay.
But I like to talk a lot. So it worked out well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not super organized. No, I wouldn't say. But I like making plans for sure. I like talking about stuff and I like doing stuff.
So what was that like to go from, like, you're kind of a lone wolf with a lot of stuff, you start your own business. What was it like creating something with someone else?
Super easy. It's half the work.
Yeah,
it was much nicer actually, especially when you have someone that's like a buddy and that's super dependable, and you know, it's not like there's any issues keeping each other accountable, but you don't want to let the other person down either. So you're constantly making sure that you're pulling your weight, and yeah, it was great because, you know, he's busy and I'm busy, so like I said, we kind of split the work up, which is a big advantage I feel like we have there. You know what I mean? We can provide twice as many classes as most people because there's 2 of us teaching. So we split those up, and he has most of the evenings, I do most of the mornings, and we're both there on the weekend and Wednesday nights. So
that's cool.
It works out.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. It's pretty crazy that you guys could meet on the same level and keep it going the way you have. It's really taken a life itself too, which is cool. So something I ask everybody when they come on is, this podcast is dedicated for men's mental health and, you know, getting dudes out of rough places. What is something that you think could help somebody if they're a dude in a shitty situation or a bad place?
I would say, honestly, it's like you need a little responsibility. You need a little responsibility, something that's you have to do, that you have to take care of. Because sometimes when you're in a funk or you're down or you got those demons at you, you just need a reason to kind of continue to get up and move forward. And it's easy not to. And if you you know what I mean? If you take a day off or you take a couple of days off, that can just compound into a week, to a month, to a year, and then you kind of forget your purpose. I find the biggest thing is if you don't have a purpose or you don't have a meaning or you don't have some sort of responsibility that like is solely yours, that can kind of take you down a whirlwind. You know what I mean? That can kind of spin you out a little bit. It's tough to kind of stay on track without that. It's always served me well. Like I always need a goal or a purpose, or else I'm just kind of in my own thoughts, you know, in those bad thoughts, in those negative holes. And it's tough to get out of those, especially, you know, like I said before, it's like, it's up to you. It seems like you do have to get yourself out of those.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, no one's coming to save you. So it is, it's good to be able to, you know, use purpose to drive you forward.
Yeah.
That's solid advice for sure.
I feel like you need it, especially as a man. It's like, you just have to find a purpose. You have to find something it doesn't have to be a calling, and it doesn't have to be the most important thing. It just kind of has to be important to you.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.